Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking a little bit more about swordsmanship, and specifically I'm going to be talking about the shield versus the buckler. Now I'm not going to be talking about these two forms fighting each other, but rather I'm going to be talking about the strengths and the weaknesses of each, and how you would actually fight those forms. Okay. Let's start first with the full-size shield. Okay. So basically, this is a war shield. This is something that you would take to a battle. It covers a large part of your body, and the way you fight a shield like this is you basically keep it close to your body. This shield weighs about 9 pounds, so you're not going to be moving this around too much because your arm's going to be getting tired. What you're looking to do with this is make minimum movements. I'm basically looking around this corner over here, okay, and I am attacking around the shield. Okay, so I'm not moving the shield out of the way in order to attack. I'm basically keeping the shield in front of me and attacking. Okay. Now sometimes you may have a shot that comes in high, right? Let's say somebody throws a high shot like that, and I don't want to raise the whole shield up to block the top of my head because that's going to leave my lower body open. In that instance, basically what I would do is I would lift the shield up just a little bit, and I would also sword block. Okay. So basically with this shield, 90% of the time I am just using the shield to block, okay, and maybe 10% of the time I'm using the sword to block, okay. But for the most part, what I want to be doing is doing as much blocking as I can with the shield and using the sword, offensively, okay, because that's the goal of this. Basically, I'm trying to defeat somebody, okay. So I want to be using this defensively and this offensively, okay. Now with the buckler. Now, the main benefit of the buckler is that it is small. Okay, that shield basically belongs on a battlefield. You're not going to be, walking around a town or a city with a large shield like that. People, this is something that was a lot more common to use around a town or a city. Either a buckler or perhaps a dagger. The benefit of the buckler over the dagger is that, this can be used to block heavier weapons like spears, like pole arms. And sometimes, in a lot of these Renaissance era towns, sometimes you would have, let's say, like the townspeople fighting the town's guard. Okay, so the town's guard, would be in armor using heavy weapons, spears, pole arms, pole axes, that kind of thing. So you wanted something that was a little bit more stout. Okay, so that's why this was favored over a dagger or some of the other forms. Okay, now here's the thing with this. This buckler is not a shield, and it can't be used as a shield. Okay? And the reason for that is that, if you have a sword and you're striking at me, it's very easy for you to change the directions. For example, you could be attacking high and then going low, okay? Or you might be attacking to the right side and then going left, okay? Or you might fake high, and go low. So your sword is going to move a lot faster than this buckler because your sword is lighter. Okay? So when you're fighting with the buckler, what I have here is a connected offense-defense. With the shield, I had a disconnected offense-defense. Right? The shield could be blocking. Right? It could be 100% on defense, while the sword was 100% on offense. Well, that's not the case with the buckler. Basically, your offense defense is connected. Okay, so with the buckler, if this pole over here that's in front of me, that would represent your sword. So if you are basically attacking me, all right, what I need to do is I need to basically meet you with my sword, because my sword is faster. I can also reach out further. So even from out there, I can't reach you with the buckler, but I can reach you with the sword. Okay. Now from this position here, once I meet you and I make contact, I can slide up, make contact. Okay. And at this point, I can disconnect my sword from my buckler and attack somewhere else. Okay. But basically, I have to have contact. I have to have control of your weapon before I can disconnect my my offense and my defense. Okay, so that's how we use the buckler. Basically, think of it almost as a two-handed weapon. Okay, so it's attacking. Okay, even if it's doing something funky like this, okay, the two are basically almost connected. Okay, So, and the only time that you can disconnect them is once I have control. All right. So basically, like in this instance here, I have control. Now that I have control, I can slide up, and I can attack somewhere else. With this form, when I fight it, and as you can tell from this buckler has done a good deal of fighting, as has that shield. That shield's actually been retired because it's actually cracked. But I've done a good deal of fighting with these weapons. And basically, there's if you look at the historical manuals, they show a lot of guards, and a lot of times I see people trying to use those guards, but they don't realize that those guards are basically like pass-through guards. A lot of those medieval images that you see, it's basically a split-second snapshot in time. Okay, a lot of times you'll see somebody standing in a guard like this. Okay, from this position, there's only one place I can go. Okay, so that's very predictable. Okay, so I'm not going to hang out in this position like this. The way that's most likely to happen is that if I come up, come here, boom. Okay, so that's going to be a pass-through position. Okay, boom, boom. Okay, the guard that I typically use with the with the sword and buckler is out like this. Okay, where basically basically this is I'm extending the sword. I'm pointing I call this, it's called a long point in the German system. Basically, you need to get past my sword in order to attack me. If I'm holding the sword back here, okay, I'm basically allowing you to take the initiative, okay, because now you can attack me anywhere you want, and basically, like, if you decide that you want to attack low, I now need to meet you wherever you're going to be. Whereas if I present the sword, okay, I know that basically you need to get my sword out of your way rather. So you're going to attack my sword. That's going to be the first point of contact that you make. Okay, and from that point I can continue the fight. So sometimes I'll see people hanging out in the guard like this or something like this. Okay, and again, this is a snapshot in time. If I'm out of range, like if I'm in range where basically you can hit me, if you can take one step and be able to hit me, I'm going to present the sword, okay? If I get out of range, at that point I'm going to get into a rest guard, okay? Basically I'm going to put the sword back, on my shoulder. I'm going to bring the buckler in so I'm resting, okay? As soon as I see you take that one step, okay? So once you get in engagement range, and the engagement range is one where, from that point you only need to take one more step in order to be able to hit me. Once I see you get into engagement range, I'm going to immediately, present the sword, okay? Because I'm going to force you to have to deal with this in order to hit me. You have to, I'm buying myself time. You have to hit my sword, and basically the sword kind of functions as an antenna. Once you hit my sword, that's going to give me a lot of information. That's going to tell me, that's going to say, I'm going to be able to see how hard you're hitting it, whether you're trying to push it out of the way, if you're trying to, basically do something like that. So I'm going to, if you're trying to get around it. So that's going to give me a lot of information. So I want to put that sword out there and have you deal with it, okay? But if you get out of range, then I'll get into this rest guard. Because like I said, a lot of times I'll see people, they'll be in a guard like this, and they're like way out of range, and I'm like, that's got to be really tiring to stay in there, So again, they're looking at a lot of these medieval images, and they're not understanding that was a momentary pass-through position, or a transitional position, where one person, they move from one strike to another strike. Okay. But that's what I wanted to share as far as the sword and the buckler. It is, it's a form that takes a lot more practice. Usually what I recommend to people is get good with the full-size shield first, because basically that will allow you, because the strikes are very similar. When I'm using, like that strike is kind of the same whether I got a buckler in my hand or whether I got the shield. So it's easier to learn with a bigger shield that basically, just passively covers more of your body, so you can, versus, trying to use something like this, because what people instinctively do is if you throw a buckler at them and they're not experienced, they end up trying to chase the sword around, rather than try to catch it with their blade, which is longer and has more reach and is also faster. Okay, so there's some ideas for you guys to think about. Thanks for watching. If you got any questions or comments, please post them. Talk to you guys next time.